Alright, so Kung Fu Havoc number 2, Instagram, and Facebook Live. My name is James Williams Jr. For those who don't know who the hell I am, this is a question and answer section for all three of these things. Well, Kung Fu Havoc number 2, it's getting recorded, so that's not really live. But Facebook and Instagram, you're live. Probably not going to be on here long. I just got some response from somebody. Hey, Courtney, how you doing, brother? Glad somebody joined me. Okay, so I had to saw some weapons in half. This is the stick that I broke the other day. It's posted on YouTube somewhere. I was training my niece. She enraged me. I broke one of my favorite weapons, so I turned it into two more weapons. Okay, so first let me make the statement on why I'm making this question and answer section. One, I am trying to grow my channel. Two, no martial artists in Charlottesville has been trying to help me or showing up to volunteer to, I guess, in olden times when I was still healthy, roll with me. So that's not as much of an option now. I can still spar, I just can't roll because of my hip. But I can spar, I can demonstrate, I can do the things that I would love to actually show the world, but I've been having one hell of a time getting things done. Now, I'm making this video because of the fact that I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. A lot of people are chunking Frank Dukes and other martial artists, and I'm not here for that. As a martial artist, I'm trying to show every martial artist in the universe respect. Because as a martial artist, your first rule should be honor and respect. You should respect other martial artists and their art, and you should respect people in general. And you should honor them by respecting their art and their people. I took martial arts when I was 7 years old because I used to fight in the streets when I was 6. Alright? We got that established. It wasn't a choice. It was an option that I had no way out of until I got 12 and my dad put a stop to it. So, when I watch these videos on YouTube and, Instagram and sometimes Facebook, there are other martial artists out here who are pitching bad things to other martial artists. They're putting them down and stuff like that, and they're debunking their techniques and shit like that. And I will be honest with you, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're in that line, because when it comes to technique works with practice. And what works for you won't always work for someone else. And no matter how much you teach them or how you teach them, it's not going to function when they transport it from what you've taught them mentally and physically into when they actually have to use it. I'm the guy that's not going to teach you something that you can't use. We're not going to sit in class and do this for 6 weeks and then block and all that crap. No, we're not doing that. What we're going to do is I'm going to see what your body level is. By that, for those who don't understand, Courtney understands. By that, I need to know your kick range and your reach. Then I need to know your grappling strength, and then I need to know your tolerance for pain strength. So here's where I piss off a bunch of martial artists now. Alright, and a lot of them are probably going to say I'm wrong, and that's cool. You're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that, because the whole thing was about respect 5 seconds ago. Kempo is the thing about pressure points. I took enough of it to know how to use what I need. Aikido, basically the same damn thing. The only martial art that I don't really know that deep into is Kali, because I didn't know that the Philippines had a martial art. I just thought they were just one little island off by themselves. And for most of my martial arts, the styles I studied either came out of China, Japan, or Korea. With the exception of the little bit of capoeira that I learned, and a little bit of boxing I learned this American. And then I had freestyle karate from 7 to 10. Taekwondo from 16 to about 19. And then my Sifu committed seppuku. His name was Master Ennis. God rest his soul. Now, when you go to a martial arts school, the first thing that you need to know is your teacher willing to invest time in you after class? Because some people don't learn at the same pace. Some of us are prodigies and monkey see, monkey do. Let me explain, because that might have been insulting to a few of you. So, when I was taking Kempo, and when I took Taekwondo, I had already knew the tornado kick. Or if you're a Kempo person, the hurricane kick. No one taught it to me. I seen it on TV. And I've been able to do it ever since until I had my hip replacement. So I would go to teachers and show them this kick and ask them if they can teach me how to do it properly. No one would teach me. Then I seen the reverse tornado kick from Michael Worth. I practiced it and I got great at it until this hip replacement. Now I'm not allowed to do any of the wushu stuff or any high flying kicks or whatever. So that being said, you have to find a school where the teacher is more than willing to invest in you extra time. You also have to find a school where a teacher is not going to sell you a load of bullshit just to keep catching your money. Now, I'm not saying the schools around here do that. I grew up old school. I didn't know nothing about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu until I joined the Army. Alright? I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Am I afraid to roll with people? As long as they don't touch this hip, we're good. We can roll all goddamn day. This hip's not too far from getting surgery, but, we can roll. We can do that shit. But I was always taught if I'm on my back, the fight's done. And pretty much it's how I believe. If I knock you out, we're done. I'm not going to touch you anymore. Then you got these half-ass, I think that's a question. Nope, not a question. Okay. Then you got these half-ass bullies that once you're down, they're going to kick you while you're down. There's no honor in that. I'm old school martial arts. I'm old school kung fu. I'm old school karate. I'm old school everything that I mentioned. I have nothing against BBJ. Yeah, your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is great. Stick with that. I'm a person who tells you to be truthful. Don't get grounded in just one style. Learn as many and as much of it as you can. Throw away the shit you don't need. Keep the things that work. And that's basically what I do. I'm not going to teach you something that you don't need. If you watch my videos on Kung Fu Havoc 2, you'll see I did a pole technique. Initially, it was a tree technique. I mentioned how it was utilized in Gymkhana. No one really remembers that movie because all of you are probably only in your 20s and your middle or early 30s, if that. I've been doing this for a long time. I've never gotten golden opportunities to show the world my stuff. And the stuff that I had, my brother Courtney can attest it, our shit got stolen. So we're coming up on the 10th year. This is actually the 10th year anniversary of what could have been had my special effects got put in, and if some oxymoron didn't have my stuff sitting in Alabama somewhere, you would know who I am. Now, here's the thing about martial arts. The truth be told is that there is no martial art that's better than another one. Alright? You learn a martial art, you excel, and you get good. But if you're grounded in that one style, you may be conquered by another, by someone else who is grounded in that one style. But if you do MMA, then you know where I'm at. Because if you do MMA, there is no exception to the rules. You will have more than one style that you can pull from, including Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I learned it in the Army. It was not fun having a 300-pound man sit on my chest and me not being able to roll him the fuck off. It's no fun when you're pinned down. When I was taught how to fight, when I was younger, it was two things that was important. One, don't get knocked out. Two, don't get knocked out and stay knocked out. You can get hit. You're going to get hit. Anybody who teaches you martial arts, if they tell you you're never going to get hit, they should not be teaching you martial arts. Now, you can get lucky, and that shit can happen. Generally, it only happens in the movies. But in the movies, actors get hit. Don't we, J Diz? A lot. That's a shout out to my boy. But he's hit me in every film we've been in. You have to be a good sport if you're an actor. Yeah, because accidents do happen. Like really bad things do happen when you're not paying attention. When you're going to do a martial art, before you commit to any martial art, you may want to do your research. You may want to find out what's effective, what's not effective. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has a lot of effective stuff if you're on the ground. The trick to every fight that's going to lead to a ground and pound is they have to put you on the ground. Now, if your standing offense and defense is great, you ain't got to worry about being on the ground. Okay? Now, in my younger days, UFC didn't have my weight class, so I couldn't compete. In Charlottesville, a lot of tournaments wouldn't let you compete if you wasn't a black belt, unless it was like a weapons tournament and stuff like that, and I didn't find out about that crap till it was way too late. And then, you know, we have special shows. When we have Chinese New Year, we have the special shows where they do like wushu competitions and all the wushu forms that are well over my pay grade because I do nunchucks. You can go to all my videos on YouTube. I do nunchucks. Okay? I prefer wooden weapons versus steel weapons. I do have a katana. I do have a Chinese broadsword. I don't have the saber. I need one, but I don't have it. I don't have the butterfly sabers. I have sais, you know, but I prefer wooden weapons. If your teacher doesn't invest more in you versus the weapon, you may have an issue. Because the truth of the matter is, you're not always going to carry these around. You're not always going to have them. And when you don't have them, you can't use them. And a weapon that you can't use is not a weapon at all. Now, throughout the senseis that I've had, you know, I'll tell you, one thing that only 2 of them ever told me. You know, the only weapon that counts is this one here that translates into these ones here and these feet there. And a good run is better than a bad stand. But I'm going to tell you the truth. The only weapon that really works is when you know how to use the techniques that you have learned. Which means you have to eat, breathe, and sleep martial arts. You have to practice it. I'm not saying you got to eat Chinese and Japanese and Korean food every night. You can eat whatever the hell you have, but you need to work out and you need to practice. You never stop practicing. A teacher that does not hone that into you should probably not be teaching. Now, me, for not practicing what I've been preaching, because for 4 years I have not been able to literally do training. So my martial arts is really shitty right now. I'm not going to lie about it. If you watch any of my videos, I kind of suck. You know? But I'm okay with that because my hip replacement has slowed me down. It has taken out 50% of my arsenal. Because a lot of my left kicks was the shit. Now, I can barely use them because I'm afraid that if I pop this thing out, the Army's not going to fix it. Because that has been stated to me that the Army will not fix it. And they owe me this one. So once this one's done, I'll probably never do martial arts ever again. So we kind of got to document some stuff, you know, before that happens. We as martial artists need to, 1, stop putting down other martial arts. You don't like their style? I get that. I don't like a lot of people's style. But I'm not going to come online. I'm not going to chunk you down. I'm not going to call you out and say you're phony and all this shit. Because I don't know you. It's not my job. My job is to get to the level of where everyone else is and they're making movies and making money. Because that's what I want to do to be happy. Now, I got a question. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Eric Bricken's from the military. That's my brother. How the hell's it going, buddy? Anyway, and he knows about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the Army. You know, what works for some people don't work for me. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does not work for me. Straight up and down. It does not work for me. It's great. I'm not going to chunk it. And if you're good at it, that's great. MMA, a little bit more my style, but I'm a stand-up guy. I'm not a ground and pounder. You know, and like I said, in my youth, UFC didn't have the 120-pound class to 115. They probably got that shit now, but they didn't have it when I needed it, which is why none of you know who the hell I am except for Eric Brickens and Courtney Monroe. You know, but the thing is, I watch a lot of these martial art videos, and I study them, and I sit there and say, okay, it's plausible that this could work. It's plausible that it could not. The only way to find out is if you're going out and you're sparring with these people that use these techniques. Technique over flash any day of the week is great. If you're going to make a movie, you want it flashy, because flash gets people's eyes from over here to on the screen. And that's the thing that makes movies flow. You know, if you're doing like multiple tornado kicks, people are going to pay attention to that. And you break down and you just, you know, front kick or bring that thing up there, you know, it's mediocre. And then people are like, oh, I don't want to see this. Okay? That's their right. You know, no one wants to pay $7.95 or damn near $20 in IMAX to see me go. You know, that's not something that they're going to pay for. Now, if they want to see me go boom, 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 and break it down or rip into Tiger, you know, maybe Dragon, maybe Snake, you know, they're going to get their money's worth. So you want to be flashy. Now here's real martial arts. Snake really is only effective if you use it in a Kenpo manner, where you're striking parts of the flesh that have indentions and things that you can get in there. You know, when you're hitting solid bone with Snake, guy better be made out of glass, because he's not going to fold. You're going to be in trouble. And you're just going to be poking him and pissing him off. Now, you poke him in that damn throat, you might do some damage. Please don't do that. You poke him in the sternum, you're going to do some damage. Please don't do that. And, you know, it's the same thing with, like, karate versus kung fu. You have to decide which one works better for you. For me, I like the combo, but I prefer kung fu. With kung fu, the block and strike, or get to the outside, block and break. You know, they're throwing a straight punch, so you hear. You're connecting on that elbow and that wrist, and you're cracking. All right, please don't do that. So, you know, you're learning as you go. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu itself, Judo, everything of those three involve grappling. Now, here's the thing about grappling. If you're okay with close combat and bad breath-smelling people, hey, knock yourself out. Judo is really good for small people because people don't expect somebody $125 to throw them over their shoulder. But Judo works on the principle of I'm using your momentum against you. So if you're pushing me from the chest level, my job is to grab your wrist, twist, and flip. Now, in the event that that happens and you drop dead weight on me, I better learn some BJJ really, really quickly. Because I'm going to have to get off my back from the mount position while you're on me dropping bows on my freaking head. So, you know, you have to know what you're investing yourself into when you get into a martial art. You get into a martial art, you need to know one of two things. How tough are you? Because martial art really isn't about strength. If you can take a beating, you're in good shape. Alright? And I say that for a reason. So here's why I piss off TIE fighters. But only the American version. The Thailand TIE fighters, this and a beating for 8 hours, they're used to it. So you're not going to be doing a lot of damage on them unless you take out their main striking weapons, elbows and knees. We're soft here. Straight up and down. We're soft. There's very few American classes that teach you how to harden or toughen your body. And if there are any schools out there, please let me know, because I need a refresher course. But you know, when you're fighting a Thai fighter, you need to know a little bit about Thai fighting before you step in a ring or step in the streets with these bastards, because they will rip your ass to pieces. It's the same thing. I can't use American Kung Fu in China against a Wing Chun expert because it's taught differently there. Now, granted, it came over here. It's modified, and then it's usable to a degree, where over there they use it every day and everything, so you kind of got a problem, unless you're really good at adapting, which is the other thing you need to learn about being a martial artist. You need to be able to adapt. If you cannot adapt, you're going to get clapped. Keep that as your phrase. Same thing as he who hesitates meditates from the horizontal position. So, you know, you have to know yourself inside and out when you become a martial artist. When you start until you finish, and here's the good part about that, you never finish. Anyone who tells you they're finished learning martial arts, they're lying to themselves. You can always learn something new. You can always be taught by someone else who's learned something that you don't know. Like for me, I don't know squat about Kali. I know enough martial arts that I can deal with other martial artists. In a brawl, in a fight, I can hold my own. I'm not Bruce Lee, but you're going to remember me if we get the rumbling, unless you get that lucky hit in and I go sleepy sleep. Alright? And people don't want to be honest about that. A lot of people are afraid to be knocked out. I'm afraid to be knocked out because I've never been knocked out in a fight. You know, I've only been knocked out by playing football and other dumb shit that didn't have a helmet. You know, helmets are important, people. Remember that. When you are training, it is very important that your sensei double checks, you know. Mr. Ennis used to check our form, and if our form was off, we did push-ups. No, I did not like doing push-ups. I did a shit ton of them for Taekwondo, which is why, you know, when I went to the Army and had to do push-ups, it wasn't a problem. You know, it really got tiring, battle buddies. would get me in trouble and I'd have to do push-ups. The military teaches you patience, do push-ups. Now, when you're doing a martial art, doesn't matter if it's like a Chinese martial art, Korean, Japanese, Philippines, Brazilian, or Jamaican, anything that I missed, you guys can add on later. But, when you're doing a martial art, you need to know the outs and ins, you need to know the escapes, you need to know the durability of your body. But the most importantly, this thing right here is your ultimate goal, is to never quit here. Your body will quit before your mind does. Your job is to make your body wake back up and stay in motion. Now, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all the grappling, and Judo and all the grappling, that's like out of my pay range. I'm a stand-up fighter. I'm not a ground and pounder. Brookins can tell you in Delta when we did the damn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or GFT, I got my ass handed to me on more than a couple of occasions, because I'm just not into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have to use what works. I've cheated. I've headbutt people in the testicles. I have escaped. That was our job. C-clamp, C-clamp, C-clamp. Man, what the fuck is a C-clamp? I'm thinking of a car part. Drill sergeant comes over. This arm here, C-clamp here, roll him off. Guy's 300 pounds. I was a $130. That shit won't happen. He dropped dead weight on my chest. That was it. Henceforth, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's not for me. If it's for you, good for you. It's not for me. Alright? Can I do it? Hell yeah. Am I good at it? Hell no. But doesn't mean I can't do it. Which goes back to you have to be able to adapt. So, when you're watching other martial artists, don't undercut them. Don't think that their shit doesn't work, But know that everything works if you're taught properly. But if you're not technique down, you need to be able to adapt. If you can't learn a simple technique, then you better learn how to adapt really quickly. The stuff we learned in the Army was really, really simple. You got the forward mount, you got the side mount, you got the triangle choke with your arms and your legs. They taught us that shit. I sucked at it. Period. I'm not a be on the back kind of guy. I've always been taught that if I'm on my back, two things that happen. First thing is, I fucked up. Second thing is, I'm pretty sure I probably lost the fight. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu taught me some shit, like how to escape, how to roll. I'm really not down with body contact with people because sometimes people just stink. So, I prefer to keep your body the hell off me by trying to put your ass to sleep with 1-2 kicks or punches and stuff like that. Hey, keeping it real. If you have ever wrestled with someone who doesn't use the right amount of this stuff right here, if they don't use deodorant, it's not a fun match. It's not a fun match. And in the Army, we weren't really allowed to use powder. So, therefore, if you're going to roll with someone, it would help to know what the hell you're doing. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we did a lot of rolling. I took Judo, so Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was kind of easy to accept. The ass whoopings were not, but it was kind of easy to accept. But, they always paired me with the guys that were bigger than me. They never paired me with a guy my size or smaller because I was the smallest guy in the platoon. But, the point is that you need to be able to adapt in every style. If you're taking a style, if you're taking Bruce Lee style, JKD, if you're taking Jeet Kune Do, that style was made for adaptation. That's pretty much what it means. It's made to take all of the good stuff over here and take all the shit that you don't need and put it over here. I kind of follow that philosophy, but I've never taken Jeet Kune Do because there's no Jeet Kune Do schools in Virginia that I know of, and if there is, somebody send me a link. So maybe I can go take a lesson or two if I can get out of school and find some money. Now, for other martial arts, if you're going to learn the animal styles, it's going to be real hard to find an animal style teacher here in Virginia. I have looked. I have not found any. If anybody knows somebody, let me know. Tiger would be the suggested one for me because I want to know how to get everything. I've had tiny tastes of it, but when you get a tiny taste of a style, that's all you get, a tiny taste. So, you can do Tiger, but a Tiger, you need more. You need more than just strikes. I haven't been taught any kicks in Tiger style, just claws and grips. Okay, same thing with Mantis, same thing with Snake, same thing with Crane, and I just combine the grips from Judo and the pokes from Kempo with Mantis and Snake and Crane. So you see where I'm going with that. I've added stuff to certain animal styles that does not exist with what I have been taught. And this is how you adapt in a fight, because when you're in a fight, this thing here needs to be clear. Don't go into a fight thinking, all right, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to jab him in the face, then I'm going to cross elbow him, Thai style, then I'm going to grab him and knee him. That shit don't work. When you go into a fight, you go into a fight with one plan and one plan only, and that is to survive. You go into a fight thinking, oh, this is going to be an easy victory. You may be surprised. No. And it's the same thing like if you're learning Wing Chun or if you're learning Capoeira, you need to know the weaknesses before you know the strengths. And your weaknesses can be turned into a strength if you're taught by the right teacher. Good luck with that. Now, before I end the video, because I know I've been talking to y'all about an hour, you know, the whole thing is that you want to be able to learn a martial art that is effective, not just in the ring, but in the street. And here's where I come in. I'm not going to teach you nothing that you cannot use outside the dojo. When I first went to Mr. Ennis, I had no Taekwondo experience, but I knew a few Taekwondo kicks. He made me do push-ups because I was showing off. And he jumped down my throat and he said, you know, if you don't know that, you shouldn't be using that. And I disrespectfully said, I live in the projects. If I don't know something, I'm going to use it anyway and pray like hell that it connects. Because here's the thing. In real life, if you are blessed enough to launch a Taekwondo kick and not get hit in the nuts, especially a tornado kick, because those things are awesome, but they also leave all of this shit open. Now, whether you got your guards up right here or not, when you do a tornado kick, your back's right here, and you're coming back around. And your legs are gapped open. You're ball blocked as far as I'm concerned. If I can get away from it, and if I can hit you when you get in the air, you're done. It's the same thing with Capoeira. If your Jenga's too low, and I can catch you on the Jenga and your guard's down, or you're one of those oddballs that guard left foot, right hand, or some shit like that, I got you. Because as soon as your Jenga gets down there, I'm kicking you dead in the face. Yes, that was brutal. I'm sorry. But you have to understand, when you're fighting in the streets, that person you're fighting ain't fighting you for sport. They're fighting you for a victory or embarrassment, or they're fighting to hurt you. Your job is to prevent all of that shit. No, you're not trying to get embarrassed, you're not trying to get hurt, and you're trying to survive. Those are the three things you worry about when you're in the street. Alright? Now, I'm no longer as quick as I used to be. Now, as I said, the hip replacement has taken out 50% of my arsenal right there. Because most of my left kicks were my dominant kicks, and I'm not naturally left-handed. Or I was trained to fight more left-handed than right-handed because the right hand will adapt. That's another story. You know, if your teachers are great, they will work on your weak side so that your strong side can be caught up. You know, and that way you also have unorthodox ass-licking kicks. All right. So if you want to know why people who fight left-handed looks very strange and unorthodox, is because they were worked on by that teacher. It's like, all right, so you're naturally right-handed. That means you were born a righty. You were born and taught how to write. So some of my senseis made my assignment go home, you know, write with your left hand. So I can write with my left hand. I can print. I can't cursive, but I can write with my left hand. And that was basically one of those tests. It's like, why would you want me to be able to do that? Because everything you do with this left hand, your right hand already knows how to do, because you've been using it all of your life. So, adaptability. Plus, if you're in a fight and your right hand gets cut off, you'll be able to adjust everything. It's kind of like if you go blind, your ears and your senses pick up. You know, that kind of thing. And yes, I have trained blind. I don't recommend it. It's not fun. You know, and I've also trained with my hands bound, which is another thing that most schools don't teach these days. See, in the 80s and the 90s and shit, you can get away with just about anything. Now, you would probably be considered that shit as abuse. So, you know, handcuffs, bound, I was taught how to do all that shit between 13 and 15. You know, and also, by the time I was 16, I was taught how to do shit by a Green Beret when I worked at Kegler. So, there's a whole lot that I used to be able to do that I no longer have the legs for. But you know, hey, hands are still good. Now, when you're learning, if you ever want to learn how to fight bound, you know, fight bound in front. Bound behind sucks. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. Don't do that shit. 9 times out of 10, if you can like get through, like, you know, do the whole bend over and put your legs through, that's great. But you may not have that kind of time in an actual fight. But if you're bound up here, then you're in pretty good shape. Yeah, it might not seem like it, but you're in pretty good shape because you still have a certain amount of range, which is also what if I decide to ever get a school, your first lessons I'm going to teach you how to fight bound and I'm going to teach you how to fight blind. I'm not going to blind you, but I'm going to put you into a situation where you're practically going to learn how to use your ears and your feel, you know. And people don't want to do that because insurance. But you know, that's why they make waivers that you'll have to sign. But you know, I'm also planning on teaching for free. So that's my whole thing there. If I ever had my movie career take off, that was the plan. Before I go, when you're doing a martial art, first and foremost, honor your teacher, honor your art, and honor your fellow students, and then honor yourself. Now, you probably want to put that in a different order, but for me, you know, honor your opponent, honor your teacher, honor yourself, etc., etc. You know, you'll figure it out. Your order is not going to be the same as mine. I'm old, so, you know, first thing I do, respect my teacher. You know, respect the dojo, respect the people in the dojo. I have a foul mouth, so y'all have to forgive me for that. I actually made it through here without cussing too badly. But, you know, the thing with this is that you have to be ready. Your teacher's job is to open a door and walk you through it. Now, we teach others as we teach ourselves at what we are either lacking, missing, or what we need to improve on ourselves. So when you're sparring with your teacher and you get one of those lucky hits in, don't get overzealous. You got a lucky hit in. It happens all the time. Now, that does not mean you're going to run right out and start beating up teachers. Don't get cocky. Don't get that in your head. You got a little bit of cockiness, just a little, but not like so mind-blowing that you think you're invincible, because you're not. No one is invincible. Someone has trained in a different discipline than you, and they probably have been training longer or have had more fighting experience. You have to remember that when you enter combat. No questions, so I have nothing else for you guys. I'm going to stop Instagram, I'm going to stop YouTube, and I'm going to stop Facebook because I'm going to go take a shower and go to fuck to sleep. Or I'll go to sleep. I can't get my homework done because my computers are tripping. But I want to thank you guys for joining me for this hour and some change of your life that you can't get back. And hello to all. Brookins, Craig, Harry. Let me end this one there. Okay. Instagram's done.